Right, hi, I'm Peter Sidwell. Welcome to Simply Good Food TV's Kitchens. I'm here at the studio. Now, I was down in the Shard in London yesterday doing a Q&A with 4 other fantastic people from the food and photography world. It was really interesting. We're in the Shard, super cool place. Harry, thank you very much for asking me. Really enjoyed it. Karen from Delicious Food Magazine, we talked about a cheese toastie very briefly. I'm going to show you mine. Okay, so I'm going to edit this at the same time because that's kind of what we do. So I've got a nice sort of nutty, wholesome kind of rye bread here. You can kind of see, look at that. Lovely and virtuous. This is my kind of bread. You know, it's got loads of nuts and seeds and everything else like that. So what we'll do is we'll just bob that in the toaster and let that do its thing. So we're actually going to make this toasty recipe. We're going to kind of tang it up a little bit. I've got some really lovely Cheshire cheese which we're going to use as our base, which I kind of really like this cheese. I was always just a bit of a cheddar man, if I was honest, before. But now I'm totally into this cheese and it works really well because it's kind of a little bit tangy as well. I'm not going to bother grating it. I'm just going to chop it all up because that's kind of the way I want to do it, really, if I'm honest. And I don't think it always needs to be grated. So I'm actually editing this recipe as well while I'm cooking. So I'm using, if you see me leaning over to the iPad, it's because I'm just kind of cropping in so you can see sort of the size chunks that I'm just cutting this cheese into. So don't think I'm checking my emails while I'm cooking, because I'm not. Okay, so just going to turn the pan on as well, get that nice and hot. So we'll go back to our wide. Okay, so let's get the cheese in here. So Cheshire cheese from our friends at the Cheshire Cheese Company. And then I've got some grated Parmesan just to give it a little bit of tang. It's quite nice to use a couple of different cheeses, I think. So I'm just going to go good handful there. My friend who I share the office and studio with is a cheese importer, so I've stolen a bit of his Parmesan. So I know it's a good one. Okay, right. So, I've got some red onion, okay? So let's just go down to the chopping board. So we're going to chop this up, and I'm going to pickle this. And so I'm going to get some vinegar up to the boil, okay? And get that nice and hot, and I'm just going to give these 2 ingredients a really quick, kind of gentle pickle, if I'm honest. Nothing crazy. Nothing sort of, they're not going to sit in pickle for days and days and days. It's quite quick. So we're going to chop the onion nice and fine. Okay. So we'll just, you know, you can see there, it's really quite fine. Because I still want the crunch, but I want that lovely bit of kind of pickly tang. And probably half an onion is enough on this. Don't want too much. Put that to one side. Get rid of that. Okay. So I'll just run my knife through it there. Go back to the wide so you guys can see. And then I'm just going to drop the onions straight into this white wine vinegar, which is just coming up to the boil. Right, that's my toast, but unfortunately, my toaster's not big enough for my bread. So I'm going to turn it over and do it twice, but that's okay. I've got the grill setting on here as well, so it'll all be quite quick once it gets going. Right, quite harsh that vinegar. So I'm just going to add a little bit of honey, so we get some nice sweetness and it kind of takes the edge off, okay? So we'll just drop that in there. Now, I actually work with Calaforia Prunes to design cool recipes that taste amazing, get more fruit and fibre and all that sort of stuff. So these are, you know, they're beautiful dried fruit, but they're really tangy as well. And they're going to work amazingly with the cheese and the onion. So what I'm going to do is just chop these nice and fine, and I'll crop in there so you can see how big I've cut them. And also, let me just show you, there you can see how the onions are bubbling up quite quickly. So I'll chop back to the chopping board there. So just run your knife through these lovely California prunes. Now, if I'm honest, go for California ones because they're really, I mean, look how shiny and sweet and plump they are. These are not a dried fruit, it's kind of like semi-dried. It's like a good sun-dried tomato almost, or a sun-blushed one. So they've still got that kind of nice freshness, but they are dried. Just kind of concentrates the flavour really. So, all chopped up into the pan, okay? And we're just going to cook that out for about 30 more seconds, and that's it. Right, so give this a quick stir. 30 seconds, that'll do. Okay, so I'm also going to grab some flat leaf parsley. You could use chives as well if you want to. And then I'm just going to chop this nice and fine. Oh, crop into there so you can see. A little bit of freshness. You could use spring onion as well if you wanted to. Okay, straight into the pan. Sorry, straight into the bowl there. That's it. Right, that's our pickling done. So let me just let me pour this into here so you can see what we've got. And you could just pop this into a kilner jar, you know, and just bung it in the fridge. No problem. So it looks a bit murky, but that's okay. Let's get my toast out. Ooh. Okay, so got my toast. Put that to one side. Now, mix the onions and the prunes together, and then lift them out and try and let all the vinegar drop away. Give it a little squeeze, but not too much because you want that tang in there. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 good tablespoons in here. I'll do. The rest of that's going in the fridge. So let's mix all this together. Now we've got greens, we've got red, so we've kind of got sweet with this. It's like a ploughman's already. It smells amazing. Okay, let's just grab that. The toast is just caught on the edges, so what I'm going to do, because it's going under the grill, I don't want it to burn too much. It'd normally be alright, but just take that and spread the cheese on. And because it's all a little bit warm, it's kind of just going to, it's almost like a paste, okay? So we're just going to bob that under there. It won't take long under the grill either because I've preheated the grill. So make sure that that toast is covered because you don't want any burnt bits. Okay. Let's use a knife and just kind of spread that. Oh, this is going to be good. Karen, I told you this is going to be amazing. You are going to want to try this in your test kitchen down in London. I know, and I want to see you cooking it. Okay, right. Let's just bob that onto there. That's just going to go straight under the grill for about 2 or 3 minutes. And then it's going to be ready. It's going to be pretty quick. So I've popped those under the grill there 2 or 3 minutes and they'll be all melted and lovely. While that's cooking, what I will do is tidy up because I'm quite good like that, but I'll tell you a little bit about Simply Good Food TV, okay? So, Simply Good Food TV is an app that you can download for free on your Apple or Android devices. And basically it's kind of like a Netflix or an iPlayer, but what we do is we go out onto the web and we find the best online content we can possibly find and put it all in one place because we love cookery programs here and we want to watch them and we love recipes and we think this world's amazing at the moment because everybody's creating content and everybody's sharing it and we wanted to create somewhere for it. So if you download Simply Good Food TV, you will find all kinds of different programs. We curate them all the time. What we do is we kind of just sit there every couple of days, find new programs, put them on. Today I found a really interesting Q&A session with Marco Pierre White, one of my kind of heroes. Put that on there. We've put an amazing meatball recipe on there. There's a really interesting interview with the best restaurant in the world, which is in Italy, and I think his name's Massimo. He's got a really interesting approach to food, and I kind of figured, you know what, if I'm interested in it, other people who love food will be as well. Okay, so that was pretty quick. Now, right, hang on, and 1 minute, let me get a cloth. Right, I need to get this ready for you because this looks amazing. Super excited to show you this. Right, so there we go. One piece and another piece on there. Look at that. Let me just turn that around so you can see that. So what we've got here is the absolute, my perfect cheese toasty, okay? So we've got lovely toasted rye sourdough bread that I made the other day, and it just needs toasting because it's about 3 or 4 days old. We've mixed Cheshire cheese and Parmesan cheese together. And we've pickled some red onions and some California prunes in some vinegar and honey to make them nice and sweet and kind of tangy. And then we've mixed some parsley through, mixed it all together and toasted it, and look, there you go. Honestly, for me, that is a beautiful cheese toasty. Karen Barnes, I do hope you're watching, and I do hope you have a go at this. I will email you the recipe now. All right, look, download Simply Good Food TV if you want to. It's full of so many different programs. I'm really passionate about getting those programs to you. And if you find any, tell me about them because I'd love to get them on the app. And if you want any new recipes, if there are any kind of tricks or techniques or something in the kitchen that's causing you problems, give me a shout and we'll see if we can solve it here in the studio. All right.